She knew it was an aswang hunting her unborn baby. So Angel at the time was 6 months pregnant with her soon-to-be daughter, and she lived on the island of Negros Occidental. It's a very beautiful island, by the way. And during this time, she had an encounter with what's called an aswang. So Angel is the owner of a small restaurant in the city center where she serves traditional Filipino foods, snacks, and alcohol. They even have a karaoke machine, which brings in quite a lot of happy customers, and she was making a good amount of money. She was 6 months pregnant at the time, and her belly was getting bigger and bigger and bigger every single day. So she asked her family to come and help her to take care of the business. This is quite normal in the Philippines, and she had a large living space behind the restaurant, so it was quite accommodating for a large family.
Okay, I will send your sister.
Then, one night after closing, it was about 1 in the morning, and Angel was looking forward to going to sleep because, well, she was exhausted after a long day of cooking, cleaning, and serving customers all day. Her younger sister was already sound asleep, and there was an eerie silence. So she climbed into bed and lay down next to her sleeping sister. But then she started to hear something. There was a sound coming from the roof of the restaurant. It sounded like someone was walking on the roof, but the roof of the restaurant was quite high. It was at least 15 meters off the floor, and it would have been super hard for anyone to actually get up there, and there was no ladder. She held her breath, and there's this deafening silence, except for footsteps. She could hear the footsteps moving from the edge of the roof, and they were getting closer to the spot right above her bed. Suddenly, they stopped for a moment, but only for a moment. The nipple leaves that attached the roof started to rustle, like they were being moved apart, like something or someone was trying to make a hole in the roof. Angel yelled at her sister to wake up, and she rolled over, still asleep. Angel sprang out of the bed and shook her violently until she woke up. Angel's sister was annoyed. She asked, "What's she doing? Just let me go back to sleep." Then Angel screamed at her. She said, "There is an aswang on the roof, and it wants my baby." Her sister's eyes shot open, and they looked at Angel in fear. Together, they ran to the back door and grabbed anything they could find as a weapon. And then she heard it. Thump, thump, thump. The aswang had jumped off the roof and landed near the back door. Angel hesitated for a moment before ripping the door open, and then she saw it. There was a large black dog with bright, glowing red eyes staring at them, its long tongue waging back and forth, almost reaching the ground. They started yelling at the aswang and charged at it, trying to attack it. It worked. The beast leaped back over the fence, which was about 2 meters high, and disappeared into the night. Angel and her sister all went back inside, scared out of their minds. They had just come face to face with an aswang, and luckily for them, they survived. Somehow they managed to get back to sleep and awoke the next morning, feeling exhausted and tired after a terrible night's sleep. Angel went to speak to her neighbors and asked them if they had seen or heard the aswang that night. They told her that during that night, a small child had passed away, and they believed it was because of an aswang. Without asking any more questions, Angel packed her bags and moved up into the mountains to stay with her grandparents. At least until the aswang had either been scared away or killed. The next night, the aswang seemed to have disappeared, maybe because its stomach was already full from last night.